She's going to be happy to skirmish around some of those first few objectives. Start 2 on night here.
Very excited to see how it is going to go. So here we are, onto the rift for game number 1. Liv Sandbox taking on Gen.G. To actually get a cancel or anything like that, as there's a Zenith Blade. In goes live though as Ruler late cleanse and is going to have to flash as well. Effort decides not to flash after him, and Liv Sandbox, see?
Does not have all 6s.
Oh no, Summit finds Rascal backing. Puts down the mist, but it isn't going to save him. The Heartbreaker comes in. There's the Ignite, and that is a very dead Gwen. First blood. Gone.
If Ryze tries to fight you, then you pop it. Yep, I don't hate it actually into this matchup.
Well, there's the Zenith Blade from Effort. Equalizer goes down. BDD immediately flashes. Life does the same, but he's still dead. That's the reset. The arrow connects onto the Rumble, and Ruler will be able to help pick that one up. Kick back onto Fate as well, as now Ruler using that Frost shot and will be able to take down the Aurelia. He looks to try and turn it, but it's just not going to quite be enough at this stage of the game. Later on, the Aurelia probably wins that, but right now, not. So
here we go.
A 5v5. Summit, he puts down his miss. That's a decent unbreakable, but BDD is in so much trouble. Fate picks up the kill on the Braum, and there goes the Rise as well. And now Gen.G, he's trying to get out of there. Summit's getting so many resets here as he stuns up Rascal.
At this stage in the game even, like, the Gwen is not safe.
Yeah, no, Gwen is real dead. They walk over Vision, but I just don't think it's going to mean anything, as Rascal's already half health before the fight's even really begun. Gets stunned up, Croco grabs the kill. He has to flash. Down to 50% as Fate and Summit, both of them coming in for this flank. Arrow will connect. Effort goes golden though as the equalizer's decent. Chains of Corruption are even better, as now it's just Gen.G just by himself, but he does manage to safeguard out, and Gen.G find themselves a decent position now. Equalizer now on cooldown, Chains of Corruption and the stopwatch and Solar Flare no longer there for Liv Sandbox, but the flash forward from Fate, the Vanguard's Edge, and Gen.G are melting before their eyes. That double kill was basically instant. And now Croco fighting against Rascal, and unfortunately Gwen not quite immune enough, as Summit is looking for Gen.G. Does land a cute little Q there, and does bring them out of the way so they get at least Ruler out to safety.
Does he get the execute here? I don't think so.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, wow. That's
Nicely
actually
done.
crazy.
Yeah, and also when you get that pick, likely you'll be doing it on top of an equalizer as well, and Croco's positioning has been fantastic. If that's the mini stun into the wall, Effort once again just eats all of the aggro, and the rest of Liv Sandbox dive on top. The Braum dies, the arrow is stopwatched by Fate really beautifully, and that should give Liv Sandbox... A little bit silly, of course, but once again, Effort plays it beautifully, gets the 2-man. Solar Flare is now life. Might just be dead, there's no turret here. Solar Flare just for the stun. Stand beside me is going to be there, but you're going to have to stand beside him in the death chamber, as Summit's going to pick up yet another one. 3-0-4 now for the Viego.
Bit of a quizzical position there.
Quizzical is a good word for it, yes.
Way out of position, like, no one was going to see.
At least does have that. He's the only one with any type of stopwatch style of item.
Yeah.
Which, seems a little bit bad.
That's very bad when an Aurelia is going to be getting on top of you, if Viego's going to be on top of you, guaranteeing those resets. Gen.G is very hopeful at best here on the other side of the Baron Pit, as Effort just blocks everybody out.
Well, there's only the slow for the Solar Flare, as Effort flashes, doesn't get the Zenith Blade, so it's a lot of cooldowns now for absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that's actually, you know, I mean, all things considered, pretty massive for
Splash.
Gen.G.
They did get BDD's Flash, so there's that at least, but I think that Liv Sandbox have the wallets for this one.
I think so. Like, they just wanted to win the game right then and there off of that play.
It's very frightening.
And Fate can teleport in here, but he's not here yet.
Yeah, Prince does have his Edge of Night, so he's not going to get arrowed or anything in the front line as Ruler. Just going to clear out these minions as he moves on down.
Look at the damage, it's insane.
Oh my goodness.
Rascal on the flank, they know he's there. He's got to get out of there.
They do have some control vision in here, so Rascal unseen for the moment. Gen.G, he can get that amazing kick potentially, but not anymore, because he just took way too much damage. Oh no, he doesn't have a stopwatch as well, if we remember correctly, as now Rascal's in trouble, has to dash away to the rest of his team. There's another Solar Flare as it just comes back off cooldown. The Braum is going to die immediately. The Gwen is going to follow suit, as BDD is now actually starting to do some damage, but he wants to be able to use his ult to get out, and he's not going to be able to. Croco takes a bit there, as now Fate looks to try and catch up. Vanguard's Edge taxis over to Ruler, in this game is now over. Liv Sandbox tidy it up. That's the ace. Fate picks up the last kill, and they'll just run down the mid lane and finish this one off.
I know Korean Jace is a bit of a guilty pleasure for League of Legends fans, you know, all across the world. You know, it's definitely something people like to enjoy, but Korean Aurelia is one of my favorites. And this is just one of those champions you put it in the right hands of a top player, even Fate in this case, kind of a middle-of-the-pack player this season, and he's just going to carry with it. I thought Summit had the best performance out of all these players, though, for Live Sandbox. He's my POG. This was a one-sided game.
Oh, yeah.
And that is going to be the Nexus falling here, Atlas. Very much a snowball rolling down the hill.
Liv Sandbox looking fantastic. Of course, Aurelia is much older, but she's the one that's been brought back into the meta and roughly changed a little bit here as well. And, by changed, I mean buffed to a level that she probably shouldn't have.
It was really funny when the rework was announced because a lot of people were like, this is a huge nerf to Aurelia. Like, it's not going to be great for her. I can't believe Riot broke my favorite champion. They did break it, just not in the way that a lot of people expected.
Yeah. It wasn't a better nerf Aurelia situation, but it certainly is now.
This game looks, once again, like Gen.G have kind of tried to fill holes they've put in their own draft. Like, the Orianna pick feels like it's very strong with this composition, but also somewhat desperate considering the bans that came through.
Beating Gen.G, that's 100% the best way to do it.
And with a 2-0, if they can take it in this game this season.
That is crazy. As he's flashing forward already, Ruler has to flash out, but they're still going for this. The Ren's going to be there. And Prince and Effort, still very early days, right? A 2v2 kill is absolutely fantastic. So we're going to have a look at this. Flash forward once again.
I didn't hear what you said, but I don't think it matters.
바텀 봐줄 필요 없어. 봐줄 필요 없어. 바로 노플.
I think
also Chloe wasted his flash.
Yeah, Rascal going to start off the fight here as immediately Summit's actually going to get that Ignite down. Youngjae moves on past, but Summit's still at full health. That's another solo kill in the works, but the flash out does come through. Some more snipping as there's the Realm Warp. The teleport will come forward as now immediately Croco will dive on top of Youngjae. That is going to be a one-man shockwave as over goes Youngjae yet again as Effort will turn up late to this fight. Another Undertow's going to connect as Effort going to come through. That's one kill for the Nautilus. Gets another stun as PDD. He is 100% dead unless the flash does come through, and it does. Fate not going to be able to follow as his... Looks like Sandbox still want to try and come through and potentially fight for this. This is really risky as Ruler keeps himself out of vision. Does have the ultimate available as that's a great engage onto Croco, but he does have the ultimate available. Rascal gets a lot of value with the Q as it is. Shelly getting involved as well. 3 members of Liv Sandbox trying to run away right now. Chains of Corruption are on cooldown, but it looks like Liv Sandbox will realize that as Prince is now going to get that rotation up.
Yeah, Ruler down a level here. Don't want to be tussling with that Ballista through the brush. Ooh, the flank teleport.
Yeah, immediately Ragnarok used early. Teleport to come forward here is Summit. Trying to escape from this one. Doesn't have flash, remember. Wants to get that dash back available as the needlework is just insane. Okay, Summit is very, very close to living here, but actually avoids a Ruler in a bit of trouble. This leeching Leer is just nutty, as the last auto will be enough to do it, but just some Gwen things occurring here on the map.
It's crazy. When she has that item, she is just so insanely survivable. Ends up being significantly, significant Drake advantage as a result. Like, you teleport in here, and Olaf had to Ragnarok early, so you're like, okay, well, we're going to try to collapse on the Summit. There's no way we're taking this Drake. And Summit buys just so much time here. He almost trades back a kill.
Yeah.
It's just like, what?
This Ruler misses was just crazy.
It's just actually nuts.
So good. But it does mean that the Drake, like you say, goes over in trade for the Gwen's life.
There's not a great teleport ward except the one that's very far left here, so they're just going to walk in instead, Summit and Fate.
Yeah. And Rascal, great position, as it's probably going to be a 50-50 as Prince Glenn Splash gets himself out of there. There's the Fate's call as the Gwens dove on in. Croco trying to get into position, has to smite early, but he is going to be taken down by Youngjae. He gets himself the smite as the shockwave lands onto one. His Effort does have that stopwatch. They do take down the Olaf, but Gen.G denies soul point. Rise down.
Uh-oh, they're looking for...
is already there. As this is a very, very large flank angle as Prince is going to come through. They don't find the knock-up, or at least the first one, onto the Croc, but he's still very dead. Prince is going to grab that kill as well.
Effort's like, oh, you guys made me use my ult? Okay.
No Realm Warp to get back this time, though, so it does mean that Gen.G will get this inner turret.
Yeah, that's actually pretty massive. They are not able to punish this. you know, any sort of really awesome ultimate to set this up. I mean, the shockwave, this positioning is good.
That is going to be stolen by Ruler of all people.
Wow.
There's going to be the shockwave as in goes the Rakan as well. Great knock up from Effort though, as immediately the Crocodile's in trouble, but the Gore Drinker is just disgusting. Prince trying to kite this one out, but it's just not going to be enough, and that is a huge fight for Gen.G.
Massive.
And they turn this whole game on its head.
Oh, they absolutely do. This is a real moment for Gen.G to absolutely take control over everything, because now they could take this lead, and then he's going to be totally fine. As you watch this too, like, the positioning of Ruler is kind of awkward. Like, he's caught between a rock and a hard place in terms of doing damage. Steals away the Drake, though. And then at this moment, Liv Sandbox is like, oh, I want to cancel the fight. I would like to cancel my reservation on this Drake. But it's a little bit too late. And you can see, there's just, the front line is so massive for Gen.G that Ruler just does free damage the entire time. Like, you have an Olaf and a Fed Renekton. How do you break through? Fate does have teleport here. You could look for a big fight here right now if you're ready to pull the trigger.
Yeah, flanking ward's not really there as Summit puts down the mist. Young.G trying to get in there, but it looks like it is just going to be Gen.G locking down this turret. They get the stopwatch out of Summit as well, who's now just going to get popped. Rascal dives on top of him and says thank you very much for that one. Croco taking a lot of damage there from the piercing arrow, and Gen.G are not done yet. They're going to take down this inhibitor turret. The inhibitor will be taken as well.
They might look to, I mean, if anybody tries to defend this and they die, like, that could be game winning here, even though we're only 25 minutes in.
Well, that's a big flash in from Effort, but hits a minion with the hook. And these piercing arrows on the fallback. Feels like Liv Sandbox have kind of, the use-by date is a problem, as there's the ulti from Prince.
Not enough
to get him out of the shockwave. It's going to be all right. However, that is a lot of buttons now unavailable. And this inhibitor turret's also dead. Inhibitor to follow as well in the mid lane.
All right, and optimistic.
Yeah, this is a bit scary as immediately Effort is going to pop, but are they actually able to get this fight working out as Croco diving on forward gets a lot of value as Rascal might fall down, but Fate's going to get flashed on by Young.G. It's a triple kill for BDD, but can Prince do better than that is the question, as he's got the vision. BDD's super dead. As I don't know whether he has the rend. He doesn't quite just yet. There it is. Comes through for the double on the spot. That's an ace.
Without doing anything to anyone. And so, yeah, this is a really nice moment here for Gen.G. It looks like, okay, we just win this fight and we win the game. Okay, they're actually soloing the Baron too for a moment. But look at Rascal here in this moment where he goes on to Fate, and then Prince locks him up here with the root coming down, and he just dies. And that's the end of any sort of front line. You can't get on top of Prince after this. And everybody's taken so much turret damage with no minions here. And the Prince is like, I'm Callista versus an Olaf that can't close the gap on me. And BDD, look at the amount of spears that BDD is wearing.
Yeah. Oh, man. And now they managed to get themselves the Baron. So we've turned it all around. Liv Sandbox.
Oh, look at Croco's flank angle here. This could be massive.
Yeah, you can see Prince looking for that rend for the secure as now Rascal goes golden. Young.G taking a lot of damage here as well as Rascal has to flash. Chains of Corruption into the backline as the Drake is going to be taken here by Liv Sandbox. But can they actually win the fight is the question. Summit going down extraordinarily low, and the Zintao's also dead. BDD with a double kill for now as Prince.
1v9 Prince.
Yeah, Fate realm warps himself to relative safety, and now we're looking to potentially base race or something.
Yeah, that's the idea here. I think Gen.G are going to win that race, though. They have the massive numbers advantage, and that's going to be a retreat here from Liv Sandbox. I think Liv Sandbox were hoping that Gen.G rushed to Baron here instead, and they think that, you know, it's going to be defending coming back. Ooh, I don't know about this.
I think taking double inhibitor and then taking the Baron is the safe play, but Gen.G reading the death timers, thinking that they might be able to get this one done. Prince is very, very strong, but is he strong enough is the question. As now Rascal underneath Nexus turrets does have to contend with this mega fed Callista who goes down to the GA. Now Effort coming on in here is, okay, Prince just going to get popped. The shockwave timing, absolutely beautiful. As Croco, it's his turn to celebrate by going directly back to the death chamber. That was a roller coaster, but in the end, Gen.G managed to pull through.
Gen.G understood that grouping as 5 and using that 2 inhibitor advantage was one way they could really bulldoze their way into the base and win the game early. But, you know, Prince struck back. It was a really good game, actually.
Yeah.
For, like, all the wrong reasons, but it was really exciting.
It was.
Yep. Really interesting to see this Trundle come through, but what's so unique about the Trundle pick here is that it feels like it works against a lot of different, you know, kind of low-range melee comps extremely well, and The Sandbox's comp has some aspects like that, but it also has the poke that Rumble is going to bring in with his equalizer. It also has Varus as chip damage. And if he does well, you know, it's a huge boon for his career. Like, if you can bounce back after that really weak Lee Sin game, go into game 2, decent Olaf, and then game 3.
All right, Summit trying to get away here.
Summit's like, yeah, okay, you think I use my cooldowns on the risk color, but Viego doesn't have cooldowns. Like,
yeah. All right,
going to push the issue.
To connect, not too bad. Stab comes back, but Summit with his teleport will just be able to get a reset here as life moves on over. Croco is just going to be able to secure this, but he's going to get stunned up. Ruler comes on around. That's a great knock-up in from Effort as he's battle dancing around. Flash out from Croco. The Flame Spitter doing so much work as life fails the flash, unfortunately. And Ruler's going to have to flash over the wall as well. Is he actually going to be safe, though, is the question. And the answer is no. Stabbed in the back by Summit. But not enough follow-up here as Prince rotating over. He's spotted by 4 people. That's the flash. Emperor's Divide is immediately followed. And Prince is like, why are there 5 people here in my jungle?
And is he going to get away?
What the heck?
No way!
Just completely trolled. Oh no, the minion pathing the Brambleback save.
This time Summit actually took flash too. It was a change from last time he played this because last time he didn't have to deal with a Trundle. Rascal.
Yeah, as that's the kickback underneath the turret. Flash out as well. Croco's here. That's the equalizer down as Summit is just going to grab that kill. Desperation.
Fail, you give another kill over, you lose your flash.
Well, Effort, nice little knock up here, but he's going to ult as well. Doesn't quite get stunned in time as there's an ulti from Prince as we're just throwing things out one after the other as Prince will find life with a lot of damage. There it is. If you're take too much from that one though.
If you're going to keep throwing things at each other, I think the Varus is usually going to win that exchange.
Yeah.
The stage in the game, he's got his Dirk up right now, and that's going to be a lot of extra pressure here that is going to allow this Drake prio to be basically free.
I don't think it really matters as the Harpoon not going to connect, but the Realm Warp's going to come in just to confirm the death on the rise. Efforts, of course, here as well. And now Live Sandbox with 4 members will be able to take down this outer turret. They'll now BDD could be in trouble. Rift Herald is going to be spawned as arrows starting to fly across as Gen.G going to get spotted. Effort dives on in. Equalizer goes down. Pop goes the Azir. And the turret follows suit. It's 40 seconds until the Dragon. And BDD is going to be up 10 seconds before that. Does have the teleport available, so I guess they can potentially fight for it. Live Sandbox get along over here. Summit in the area, but Effort is not here. Got 4 members of Gen.G pushing down the bottom side. Croco has the equalizer. We'll see whether he throws that one down first. As Chains of Corruption come in, that's a great grand entrance to come through from Effort as life goes golden. Might have been a little bit of a waste there as the back out was immediate from Live Sandbox. Good zap lands onto Prince, but the follow-up's not quite there. As now Rascal has turned up. Low health bar sort of everywhere as that is Prince getting hit by the Q. He has to immediately vacate the area as now Ruler's going to get dove on by Summit, who has to Heartbreaker his way out. Croco, half the cooldown of this equalizer is now there as Prince just kills Ruler in the darkness of the brush.
Just gets lucky, and sometimes that's how it works.
Yeah, that's going to be enough as he lands another piercing arrow. The kick comes through, and Rascal will be able to take down the Varus, but not before he's done all that he needs to. Summit's going to get all of the resets that he wants. A nice 3-man ultimate from BDD, but he goes straight to the death chamber afterwards, and Rascal is the last man standing. This Drake will be claimed by Live Sandbox, and the Baron's up in 17 seconds.
Yeah, the Baron's going to be theirs too. I don't think you go for the steal here as Rascal. He's not even going to try it. They take it out here. Live Sandbox pushing forward, and that will be the double objective. But that's the fact that that team fight was so close is already kind of speaking volumes to Gen.G's ability to really almost be online. Excuse me, almost be online here. And it's really just one Varus arrow that leads to all this, because this combo doesn't work out the way they want it to. The Chains of Corruption, you know, not connecting there. The equalizer damage is decent onto... Oh, hold that thought. They're going to look for this.
Yeah,
Rascal.
That's going to be Effort taken down. It should be the Baron, secured by Live Sandbox, as Rascal, trying to be the hero, lands on top of Fate, but he has his Zhonya's. And that means that the Lee Sin's unable to lock him down, but Rascal was almost the hero there.
That would have been insane. He had stopwatch, I believe, going into that too, so that's part of why he goes for this.
Damage, man.
Yeah, he really does. I guess we're going to see exactly... Nope, we're going to go back to this. But this is just so insane. Ruler goes very low at this moment, and then Prince is like, all right, maybe I have the perfect shot. Oh, my God.
Man.
And Ruler, you could see he was actually trying to strafe it.
Yep. He knew that it was coming, and this double as well really did help things. Rascal being able to lock him down, but he done his job.
Yeah. BDD just trying his best to delay here because he knows that the Baron is coming, and at least he can buy some time. Rascal and Ruler here trying to help this out.
Yep.
He comes in here, does use his stopwatch early. He's just hoping maybe he can steal this away and grab another kill. Fate has his Zonias available, so he's able to survive there. But, you know, Gen.G, once again, extending the game, right? And that's the biggest condition that they're looking for here. If they can survive this push, there's a real chance.
Yep, and, oh, okay, Azir is extremely dead, and so is the Trundle. Summit's going to dive in underneath this one. Ruler is looked at by someone, and he's dead. The Viego's going to pick that one up. Here are the resets, and the game is just all of a sudden over, ladies and gentlemen. Gen.G, it was so strange because they held on for so long without even getting a kill whilst being 10,000 gold behind. But now it is well and truly too much for them to handle.
Too much. They're going to go down here. Life trying his best to buy time. Not going to be successful, I'm afraid.
Nope, they pile in on top. Croco just being an absolute beast and is going to help take this one down. The Nexus is also going to fall as Live Sandbox will upset our first place team in the LCK. And Croco just being super relaxed throughout this entire series. We saw in his cams, we heard some of his pro view, like just chilling, just having a great time on the Rift, and certainly did